on the way to their liberated homeland.
On Earth. Picture this.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be checking this one, the Polish villages that existed in Africa.
That's strange, that's new.
Yeah, it's a very new discovery to me to see that Polish people was in Africa at one time.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, the Polish people, they were Jews.
Jew is not Africa.
Yeah, it's not Africa. Maybe they were the African Jews.
Is anything like African Jew?
Yeah, the African. We have Jews now. We have Jews. We have
in terms of
we have
religion.
Muslims. Yeah, in terms of religion.
Okay.
I'm just thinking out loud though.
Polish is Polish. Guys.
Instead of discovering what we have to, they will teach us. Yes. We'll learn from here.
Have you ever imagined driving through the heart of East Africa, past the rustling banana trees, red earth roads, and sweeping savannas, only to stumble upon the remains of a small Polish village? A church with whitewashed walls and a wooden cross? An overgrown cemetery where gravestones are etched with names like Kowalski, Nowak, or Wisniewski? A schoolhouse where, once upon a time, Polish children recited poetry in a language no one around them spoke. This isn't the setup for a historical novel. It's real. It happened. And very few people, even in Poland, know about it.
The goats.
The goats. He's trying to eat his dress.
Yeah.
Welcome to one of the most moving and overlooked chapters of Polish history, the Polish settlement camps of East Africa. During and after World War II, as Europe collapsed under Nazi and Soviet occupation, and
I wanted to say that the only possible way that there will be there will be those that fled
from the Nazis.
Yes.
millions of Poles were deported to Siberia and Kazakhstan.
Do you know what it means for
A narrow, fragile path to freedom opened for some. Those who escaped Soviet labor camps through an evacuation organized by General Anders found themselves in unexpected places. Iran, India, New Zealand, and incredibly, East Africa. Countries like Kenya, Uganda, Tanganyika, which we now call Tanzania, and Zambia became temporary.
I'm so happy that these countries took them in, because Polish people are so peaceful. They are very loving people.
Homelands for thousands of Polish refugees, many of them women and children. They were not tourists. They were survivors. After enduring the brutality of Soviet gulags and the terrifying chaos of war, these people were exhausted, sick, and homeless. But what's remarkable, and what we want to explore in this video, is how they transformed these East African camps into thriving Polish communities, complete with schools, churches, orchestras, scouting groups, and a sense of life that defied their trauma. One of the most significant camps was in Tanguru, Tanzania, located near Mount Meru and not far from the base of Mount Kilimanjaro. At its height, Tanguru housed more than 4,000 Polish refugees. Imagine that, a small Polish town tucked into the East African highlands. The community built houses with red clay bricks and tin roofs. There was a hospital, a carpentry school, a Polish Catholic church, and a full elementary and secondary education system, all taught in Polish. Children studied literature and geography. Choirs sang Polish hymns, and girls wore traditional costumes at cultural festivals, all under the bright African sun.
Wow. So even though it was a bad thing that they were in chaos at the time, but it kind of brought blessing to the other people.
Yes.
Because I was just thinking of it. The truth is that when you see some of the technology and advancements in certain regions of Africa, you can tell that this was brought in.
Yeah.
And it's good. Many of them are actually very, very good. And I love it. But on a second thought, although the video is going to progress, I'm curious to how they were able to survive the weather.
Because this is a very drastic change for them.
Yes.
Looking at where they are, the part of the world they are coming from, and now you're coming to a very dry Sahara region where the water, lack of water, lack of good roads, and then the soil texture, soil type. It's a brown soil. It gets dirty, gets you dirty easily. Like, how were they able to cope? There's a lot.
This is interesting.
Wow.
Another major site was Koja in Uganda, on the shores of Lake Victoria. The scenery was breathtaking, and the refugees made the most of it. The Polish Red Cross and British authorities worked together to establish solid infrastructure. Koja became a peaceful place for a time, a place to heal, and what's extraordinary is how many of the people who lived there remember it not as a place of suffering, but as the first place where they felt safe after years of war and terror. Other camps like Masindi, Nyabeya, and Efunda had similar stories. In total, over 18,000 Polish civilians passed through East African camps between 1942 and 1950. Many stayed for several years, and in that time, they rebuilt their lives with courage and creativity. One story comes from a woman named Janina, who was only 10 years old when she arrived in Tenjuru after nearly 3 years in Siberia. She said it was the first time she saw fruit hanging from trees that wasn't rotten. She didn't know what bananas were. She said she finally felt free enough to laugh, and she learned to ride a bike in a place that looked nothing like Poland, but somehow felt like home. And while all of this was happening, the local East African communities were not passive observers. They interacted with the Poles, helped them, traded with them, and in many cases formed bonds of real friendship. Many older Tanzanians and Ugandans still remember the white Polish children who lived in their villages. They remember kindness, curiosity, and sometimes even shared songs. So why should a Polish person today, or someone with Polish heritage, consider visiting these places? Because this is your story too. Standing in Tenguru today, you can still find the cemetery where Polish gravestones mark the lives of people who died far from the homeland they never stopped loving. In Koja, locals will tell you about the Polish school that once stood there. In Efunda, the remains of Polish farm training centers are still visible. The physical structures are fading, but the emotional resonance is stronger than ever. Visiting these sites is not just about seeing old buildings. It's about touching a memory, one your grandparents may never have spoken about. In Polish culture, we place enormous value on remembering, on keeping history alive, even when it's painful. But this part of our history isn't painful. It's heroic. It's hopeful. It's about resilience and how, even in exile, we kept teaching our children, singing our songs, and planting gardens where no one thought anything could grow. And the beauty...
The church was built in honor of the Blessed Mary, every virgin crowned Queen of Poland, by the Poles in exile on the way to their
liberated homeland.
is that while you're walking these historic paths, you're also walking through some of the most naturally stunning landscapes on Earth. Picture this. You begin your journey in Arusha, Tanzania, where you can visit the old Tenjeru settlement. Then, in just a few hours, you're standing on the slopes of Mount Kilimanjaro. The next day, you're in Serengeti National Park, watching elephants cross the plains. A few days later, you're in Zanzibar, floating in the turquoise waters of the Indian Ocean. This is a trip that combines memory and adventure, history and heart. It's not just a vacation, it's a pilgrimage, not in a religious sense, but in a personal one. You're walking where your countrymen once walked. You're seeing what they saw. You're honoring them simply by being there, by remembering what most of the world has forgotten. And by going, you also help ensure that these places are preserved. Many of the cemeteries and buildings are in danger of disappearing. Every visit is a message that this story matters, that it should be protected and told and passed down. You can meet locals, share your own family story, and help fill in the blanks of a history that still has many missing pages. At Immigrant Paths, our mission is to uncover stories like this, stories that cross borders, that live between the lines of history books, that remind us how interconnected we truly are. The Polish towns of East Africa are more than a curiosity. They are a testament to survival, to cultural identity, and to the quiet courage of ordinary people rebuilding life in extraordinary places. So, if you're looking for a travel experience that will stay with you for life, something deeper than landmarks and souvenirs, go to East Africa, visit Tangaru, stand at the Koja Cemetery, walk through the fields of Masindi, and feel the past speak to you in ways you never expected. Thank you for watching Immigrant Paths. If this story moved you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who would appreciate this forgotten piece of Polish history. We've got more powerful journeys coming, so stay with us as we continue following the trails of those who carried home in their hearts, no matter where they landed.
It's just a lot of emotions that I was not even expecting. Like, these people were just trying to survive and they landed somewhere. Just imagine that when they were there all through this day, they were just feeling like this is not home enough, this is not good enough, and they never lived life not knowing that they were actually going to pass on from that point. It's good to know they actually made that place home enough for themselves until they
They were
passed
able to
on.
go back.
Though many of them didn't go back.
Many of them didn't go back, but the few that were able to leave, to go back, at least they built memories for themselves. They survived even in the adversary and all of the whole thing that was happening at the time.
Wow, it's a lot.
It's a lot, honestly.
It's good to know that. And again, I wanted to comment this whole the fact that they were able to write down, they were able to leave inscriptions, like good inscription that you can see years later. They left their flag, that stuff they did in the church. Those things they built are the things that you can go back to see and know that truly these people passed.
They were here.
So it's a good one when you pass through a place, you stay in a place, you should leave something there that you can always come back to. And the locals too, they did a great job by preserving all of this.
Yeah, that was why, like, I felt emotional because these guys, the East Africans, they were not like, go back to your home, go back to where you come from. They were very welcoming. The 1,000 people giving them a place to stay is not 1 hectare of land. It's a vast land they gave to them. They gave them home. They gave them somewhere to, breathe. That's a lot. Like, I'm very proud of them for doing that because it's so much. Tells so much about how helpful we are, how loving we are, and how we can come in for others when they are in need. It's a very good one. And for the Poles, they are very nice people.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are very easy to assimilate and stay in the place. Thank you guys for sitting up to this point. It's a very emotional one. It was moving at some point. Let's hear your thoughts coming in the comment section. For now, bye and stay blessed.